Welcome everybody to a look at the fourth film in the Tales of Adventure Collection 8 box set from Imprint Films, and it is 1965's War Gods of the Deep, also known as City Under the Sea. It was actually only really known as War Gods of the Deep in America, City Under the Sea generally everywhere else. And yeah, this is the final film directed by Jacques Tourneur, who also did Out of the Past, Night of the Demon, The Comedy of Terrors, Nightfall, and I Walked with a Zombie. And it's an adventure science fiction film clocking in at 84 minutes long. Once again, we have a film from Vincent Price in this box set, the second and final film to star him in this release. He was also in The Comedy of Terrors from Jacques Tourneur, but he was also in two versions of Tower of London from 1939 and 1962. The 62 version being the better of the two, by the way, as well as Diary of a Madman and While the City Sleeps. Not mentioning any more of his films because obviously we've talked about him a lot just this month, but also I've talked a lot about him in the past, and yeah, I just don't want to seem like I'm reiterating myself. Also stars David Tomlinson, who was in the really rather solid horror film Dominique, and finally Tab Hunter, who I've only seen in Track of the Cat outside of this film. So yeah, he's had obviously quite a long-standing career before this film, so really need to get into more of his films. So yeah, a chance discovery leads American mining engineer Ben Harris and his acquaintance Harold to discover a lost city under the sea while searching for their kidnapped friend Jill. Held captive in the underwater city by the tyrannical captain and his crew of former smugglers, the three plot to escape. So this is the second film in this box set to star Vincent Price, and although the character that Vincent Price plays in this isn't as well rounded as that in Master of the World, the rest of this is a general improvement over that film. This is due to the production, cinematography, and action scenes all being a major improvement, while being well executed in their own right. So I don't believe there's any previous footage from older films in this release, like there was with Master of the World, which is the biggest issue with that film outside of some of the cinematography and effects, is the fact it uses older footage while yeah, that older footage is generally in black and white, and that film is obviously shot in colour. So unlike with Valley of the Dragons, it just doesn't merge all that well with its new scenes. So yeah, which is not the case with this. While itself does look a lot better, I imagine it's because AIP, American International Pictures, who produced this, who Vincent Price worked with many and many a time, were sitting on a far vast amount of money after 4 years of other films. You know, Vincent Price had done a lot of the Poe films with Roger Corman by this point, and they were huge hits. So I imagine AIP had a lot more money to work with than they did 4 years prior. But that said, the captain played by Price may well not be as good as in Master of the World, but he is still highly enjoyable to watch, as always. The supporting cast is good, the pacing is on point, the production is convincing, there are several laughs, and there is some decent tension, and it is generally engaging throughout. So yeah, the only issue this has is that Price's character is just not as well-rounded or as engaging as Master of the World. So, although there is a lot of elements in this that are better than that film, it still gets a slightly lower rating at 3 out of 5. But it is still a really, really well worth watching effort, especially if you are a fan of the man himself. So, yeah, get out there and see it if you haven't already. But there are extras on this disc, so we've also got a 1080p high definition presentation, which looks excellent and sounds great as well. We've got audio commentary by film historians Jonathan Rigby and Kevin Lyons from 2025. Assisting Jacques, interview with first assistant director David Trigham from 2025. Life Under the Sea, interview with actor Michael Hayland from 2025. Going Deep with Tab Hunter, featurette. The City Under the Sea, alternate titles, and theatrical trailer as well. So yeah, all in all, a solid film. Not my favourite Price film, just like Master of the World, to be honest, but to have two more of his films on Blu-ray in my collection is only a positive, quite frankly. Especially two films that, even though I'm not giving the highest ratings, I can still enjoy a lot and still watch plenty of times over and over again. So yeah, overall this release is shaping up to be a pretty good one so far. So yeah, looking forward to seeing the next two films, which I haven't seen before, just like with Valley and the Dragons and 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Although with the first film, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, I did kind of expect what I was getting in for. Wasn't really sure what I was getting in for Valley of the Dragons, but I have no idea what I'm going to get in for with Jules Verne's Rocket to the Moon and The Light at the Edge of the World. So yeah, really looking forward to seeing those two. But nonetheless, if you have seen War Gods of the Deep, I'd like to hear your thoughts on it. But nonetheless, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.